Focus on identifying your target audience, communicating an authentic message that they want and need, and then project yourself as an expert within your niche. Hi y'all, thanks so much for joining me. So in less than 15 minutes, I'll be sharing with you one suggestion to help you with refining your target audience. Please like and share this video if you get value from it. And if you're listening to this as a replay on the podcast, just drop a heart in there. Really appreciate your support. So I'm Dr. P, and I'm a strategic business coach, and I've been a school psychologist for about 10 years here in the U.S., and I've also served on professional organization committees, and I've taught more than 10 online psychology classes at the graduate level. So King Garth was the person who said, focus on identifying your target audience, communicating an authentic message that they want and need, and project yourself as an expert within your niche. By the way, she is the CEO and founder of Boom Social, which is a social selling, training, and consulting firm. You can look her up to find out more about her. But what I like about that quote was the fact that she mentioned the target audience, right? That target audience is really important for our businesses. And it really doesn't matter what our business is in. You know, we all started our businesses for a reason, and that reason is helping people to accomplish something. Whatever that something is, we started our business to help people accomplish it, right? And some of us are selling products, some of us are selling services, some of us might be selling both, and we represent different industries, and we have different target audiences for our products and our services. Some of us might be solopreneurs, microbusiness owners, small business owners, calling ourselves independent consultants, independent business owner. Whatever the title is, it doesn't matter what the title you're using, the size of your business, because if you don't know your target audience, then your business is not going to survive. That's the truth. And research should be a part of all of our strategies in terms of building and growing our businesses. And part of that research does include the target audience. You have to know your target audience. And if you've never done any type of research to learn about the industry you're in, the need for your product or service, who should be buying from you, the finance options are available for you, what others have done within your industry selling a similar product, I really and highly suggest that you do so. You have to get out there and do some research about the industry, about the product, about the service that you have. And seriously, look in your schedule right now and find some time that you can spend on researching this information, and do so on a weekly basis or monthly basis. And why? Why is this even important? This is important because this adds to you developing your value proposition, you know, adds to you creating your competitive advantage in your industry. Because when you look around, there are other people who are in your industry and they have the same title as you and they have a similar service. So we have to be out there to really find out what makes our service, our product different, and create that value proposition and create that competitive advantage. And a good way to do that is through research and finding out more about this industry and about this market that we're looking to sell products and services to. So, plus with the research, you also end up staying on top of, you know, up-to-date information within your industry. And it also allows us to realize the type of continuous learning that we need to be doing so that we can stay engaged in what's happening in our industries and continue to build and grow our successful businesses, right? If you want to learn more on how to go about, you know, finding out where you can find courses to help you with that continuous learning, I do have a video in my library that you can check out to give you some more information about that. But definitely having that research is something that is going to be very beneficial to you so that you can find out more about your target audience when you're starting your business, if you're now starting. And the thing is that if you're not now starting and you've had your business for a few months or even a few years and you feel like you're hitting a wall, right, that you're no longer connecting with your audience, then you might need to start re-examining your audience. And research is a good way to help you with re-examining what is happening in your business so you can actually make the necessary changes that you need to make for your business so that you can continue moving along that path towards success. Because I really want all of us to have that success for our businesses, because we started our businesses for a reason. And a big part of that is to be successful in that business, right? So if you are hitting that wall, if you are looking for something different, to make that change, and you're not quite sure, and you feel that you're not connecting with your current audience, then it is probably because you are having issues with understanding your target audience. And if you're now starting, hey, this is a great time for you to really sit down and learn about your target audience, because I'm sure you've heard about people saying, hey, you got to get leads, you got to get prospects, you got to get customers through the door. And a good way to be able to get customers through the door is by doing your research into your target audience. And by the way, this isn't stuff that you should be doing just at the beginning of your business. Because if you realize, I mentioned the fact that you might have already been in business for a few months or even a few years, and you're hitting a wall, right? And no longer connecting with your audience. So that's my way of saying, this is not a one-time thing. This isn't when you're now starting out. This is something that we're supposed to be doing continuously throughout our businesses, because as we build up our businesses and we grow, our needs might be changing, our customers' needs might be changing. So the research helps us with keeping up with what our customers need and making sure that they're going to keep referring or coming back and buying our products and services, so that we can give them what they need and we can also have a successful business. So it's not a one-time thing. It really is ongoing. So if you've been around for a few months or a few years and you're like, hey, I already drafted up what the problem is for my target audience. I know what problem it is I'm going to be solving. I know their desires, the desires that I want to bring to them with my product and service. That is great, right? Those things are great. But now that you know those things, how then are you going to take that information to really understand who your ideal audience is? Who do they look like, right? Which brings me to the suggestion that I want to be sharing. And that suggestion is surveys. Because you've heard me mention research throughout this. And the suggestion I want to bring today is doing surveys. Because that's a way to help you with refining who your target audience is. So surveys are really a great way to gather information from a large group of people, right, on a specific topic. And in this case, that specific topic is related to your business, right? So using a survey, that's a great way to help you with getting that information from a large group of people, to help you really define who your target audience is, so that you can get better at putting that message out there to attract those customers that you want for your business, regardless if you have a product or if you have a service. So I looked into several different resources, and the list that I'm about to share with you with those questions that you could be asking to refine your target audience information, I took from 5 different resources, right? If you want to learn which 5 those are, you can send me a message and I can share that information with you. And by the way, I am not sharing all of what I found in those 5. I'm just sharing the top 10 that I found throughout all of them with you. Like I said, if you want to get the full list, you can send me a message and I'll be willingly sharing that information with you after you sent me that message. And those 10 things that you can be including in your survey to help you with refining your target audience and really getting that information about who your target audience is. Are you ready? Get the basics, such as their gender and their age. Just get the basics. Then the other thing you can do is find out about the location, because the location may be of interest to you. Because for me, my business is based online and I can work with anyone virtually. But that's not the same for a lot of people. Some people might have a brick and mortar business. So that might mean that you're looking for customers within your geographical area. Or you might have more than one location. The thing is that you have to know the location for your target audience, right? Then find out where they get their news from. I know that makes things kind of weird, but find out where did they go to get information. Because wherever they're going to get information, guess what? you might want to be on that medium where they're going to get information. Just something for you to consider. Then, if you're selling products, right, ask yourself about where do people buy products that are similar to yours. And by the way, the question could go for services as well. Where do people go to buy products or services that are similar to yours? That's part of that whole looking at your competition and just getting some information about what they do and how you can either use it or make it better. Then another thing, the fifth thing that you can do is ask where they're currently working, because that might play a role in you being able to really refine where you're placing your ads, right? Because we're all going to be placing ads at some point in time, right? So knowing where they're working, that can also impact where you're going to be placing your ads, as well as you really getting that picture of who your ideal customer is. Because again, all of these things are about getting you to the root of who your ideal audience is, right? So the sixth thing, excuse me, that I want to mention is find out where they make a purchase. They, as in your ideal audience, where are they making these purchases? Because you want to know where they're making them. And it's kind of similar to what I mentioned before in terms of where do they buy their products. Because where they make their purchases, that can also help you to figure out, okay, do I need to be where they're making their purchases? Especially if you're online. It might be certain sites that you want to be affiliated with. Who knows? But you have to ask your potential customers these type of questions so that you can strengthen your audience, understanding your target audience. Then the next thing is find out about their hobbies. Find out about what they do for fun, because that's another way into understanding who your ideal customer is. Then some people might prefer to be buying products virtually or in person, or even to be getting those services virtually or in person. So get a sense of their preference, because whatever their preference is, again, these are all things that you can use when you're developing your competitive advantage, because you got other people out there who are doing a similar thing to you. Another question you can include is find out what frustrates them. The thing that really is getting to them, that thing that frustrates them. Find that out, because that could be a window into how you're going to solve their problem, how you're going to get them to stop to be so frustrated. Then the last one I want to share with you is ask them about some objections about your product or your service. I know that might seem like a weird thing to be asking, but the thing is that if you find out what their objections are for your product or your service, then that can also be a way for you to really craft your value proposition and craft something that wouldn't have those objections and would have people actually wanting to buy your product or your service. Like I said, these are just 10 of the things that I found from those 5 different resources that I came across that I wanted to share with you, just to start to give you an idea of how you can actually refine your target audience so that you can make your marketing messages more specific to that audience, to those ideal customers that you want to be buying your product or services. And remember that when you're conducting the survey, you're getting insights into how you can strengthen, like as I keep mentioning, strengthen your value proposition, your competitive advantage. And I know some of you might be thinking, hey, none of these questions or some of these questions don't even relate to my business. Seriously, if that's the case, then you do your research into your industry, right? You do your research into your industry, into the product or service, and be sure that you're identifying the most appropriate questions for you to be asking so that you can refine your target audience. Because again, I'm just sharing with you some that have come across. And by the way, in your survey, after you've asked broad questions, don't be afraid to ask specific questions about your company to get even more feedback to help you with how you can improve your business. Remember, conducting surveys like this, conducting research, these aren't things that should be done just one time. These are things that we should be doing throughout the span of our business, because again, as we build and as we grow, our needs are going to change, and who knows, our customers' needs might be changing as well. So that's why ongoing research throughout the life of our business is going to help us to be growing even stronger and to be even more successful. Remember, not just a one-time thing. So thanks so much for joining me. Remember, solutions plus actions equals results. Till next time. Bye, y'all.